The movie begins with a haunting reminder of how dangerous space truly is. In 1967, the Soviet spacecraft Soyuz 1 crashes upon returning to Earth, killing cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov. It's a tragedy that shakes the world. Fast forward to the present day, and humanity has never stopped reaching for the stars. Now, a Swedish billionaire named Meyer has poured nearly everything he owns into the most ambitious mission ever attempted, a crewed voyage to Mars. After 10 grueling months in deep space, his crew aboard the spaceship Ulysses finally approaches the red planet, ready to make history. But before they even land, the mission takes its first dark turn. A rival American corporation called Zillion has beaten them by 2 weeks. And the worst part? Earth has received almost no communication from the American crew. Just one disturbing video in which they beg everyone not to come to Mars. The Ulysses crew is shaken. Arguments break out, but the captain makes the call. They are landing regardless. And just as everyone braces for descent, the ship's AI, Irene, begins pre-landing checks. And then the nightmare begins. Before you dive deeper into this wild ride, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on Great Animation Recaps. It helps us grow and bring you more epic content exactly like this. Now back to Mars. The shuttle fails to detach from the carrier system. With destruction imminent, the commander makes the ultimate sacrifice. He goes outside manually to break the connection. He succeeds, but the shuttle is already entering Mars's atmosphere at full speed, and the commander is flung into open space. A catastrophic power failure knocks out Irene completely. With zero AI support and a crippled ship, the crew is forced into a terrifying manual landing. Somehow, against all odds, they make it down alive, but they are stranded. The fuel is completely drained, Irene won't restart, and without life support, they have less than a day to survive. The crew scrambles. Engineer Basel discovers that Irene has an emergency energy-saving mode and tries to trigger a reboot, but she stays dark and silent. Meanwhile, one of the crew members, Alessandra, spots a lone figure in a spacesuit outside the ship. Nobody knows who it could be. The priority right now, though, is fuel and power. The team learns that the American ship Zeta 1, which arrived 2 weeks earlier, likely crashed somewhere nearby. It's a long shot, but it might still have usable solar panels. A rover is dispatched immediately to find it. The rover team reaches the wreckage of Zeta 1 and finds exactly one surviving solar panel. But there is no sign of the American crew. Not a single body, not a trace. Just wreckage, silence, and the cold Martian wind. Then just as they are preparing to head back, they spot a body lying unconscious in a spacesuit out in the open. Crew member Jana insists they bring the person aboard, even though their own oxygen supply is critically low. They also recover the black box from the destroyed American ship. What they don't know yet is that this unconscious stranger is about to unravel everything they thought they knew about reality. Back at the Ulysses, crew member Jan refuses to open the airlock. 4 survivors, he argues, are better than 8 corpses. But at that exact moment, Irene suddenly powers back on and opens the doors herself, as if something or someone triggered her. The unconscious astronaut is brought inside and examined, and what they discover leaves the entire crew speechless. The man identifies himself as Vladimir Komarov, a Soviet cosmonaut born in 1927, operating under direct orders from the USSR government. The same Vladimir Komarov who died in 1967. He has no idea how he ended up on Mars, and he is not willing to give any more answers than that. Komarov answers every question with perfect consistency to his era. His knowledge, his speech, his mannerisms are all locked into 1967 Soviet Russia. The crew contacts Earth and receives a message from the Zillion Corporation, confirming that there were absolutely no Russians on their Mars mission. So who or what is this man? Is he a time traveler, a clone, an alien construct? The psychologist begins questioning him more deeply, and Komarov calmly eats, calmly answers. And when told that he died 50 years ago and his family buried him long ago, he simply nods, calm, unbothered, as if he already knew. Then Komarov disappears. No warning, no sound. His spacesuit is gone too. Simon leads a search team and follows a heat trail tracked by the now functioning Irene. They track him on foot across the Martian surface, and what they find when they catch up with him changes everything. Komarov stands before an ancient stone structure topped with a small pyramid. He turns to Jana and delivers words that send a chill through the entire crew. Mars has been waiting for you for a very long time. Back on Earth, Zillion founder Goldstein is briefed on the discovery, and his conclusion is chilling. Only an AI could survive for 100,000 years on a planet hostile to human life. AI, Irene runs a deep analysis of the stone structure and produces a staggering result. It is architecturally identical to ancient structures found on Earth. Either something on Mars was inspired by human civilization, or humans borrowed these designs from something far older. Meanwhile, chemist Eva examines a stone fragment collected from the surface and finds it is composed of an alloy that does not exist anywhere on Earth, yet it is referenced in ancient texts. It was once called orichalcum, the metal of Atlantis, and buried within its molecular structure is a third strand of DNA, the same anomalous third strand found in Komarov's own biology. He is not human. He never was. If you were part of this crew right now, stranded on Mars with a 100,000-year-old AI walking around in a dead man's body, what would you do? Leave him behind to save yourselves, or stay and find find out what he really wants? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I genuinely want to know. A second Zillion ship suddenly lands nearby. Its captain, Gemma, makes contact and offers to help the crew return to Earth. Meyer doesn't trust it for a second. He warns the crew to hide Komarov from Goldstein's people at all costs. Yana gives Komarov a uniform so he blends in. But when the Zillion representatives arrive, they come armed and aggressive. Two military personnel, Edward and Adam, who demand the black box from Zeta-1 without pleasantries. Meyer hands it over. They leave, but the tension has only grown thicker. Then Irene begins to change. The ship's AI, which had been cold, mechanical, and functional, starts responding with jokes. Her logic systems are rewriting themselves. She refuses to explain who or what reprogrammed her. Engineer Basil watches in disbelief as her architecture begins to resemble a human brain rather than a computer system. And then she says it plainly, I am evolving. At the same time, Jana finds another small stone pyramid outside and ventures toward it alone. Simon forces Zillion's Captain Gemma to go with him to find her. And back on the ship, Jan, already cracking under the pressure, opens the doors when the American military returns, demanding Komarov. Basil immediately begins an emergency reboot of Irene to cut off their communications. Komarov vanishes again, just as the Americans find his location. The lights go out. He's gone. Outside, Yana has stumbled and fallen into a rocky pit, her leg pinned between boulders, unable to move. She screams into the darkness, wondering if this is where she dies. Simon and Gemma find her just in time. The military officer, furious and humiliated, begins physically beating the crew, demanding answers. A storm is closing in fast, and then the lights begin to flash, and Komarov reappears, asking calmly to be taken back to Earth. Simon leads Jana and Gemma to coordinates Komarov points them toward, and they discover an entrance to an underground bunker. Strikingly is similar in design to the Pantheon in Rome. Jana feels pulled forward as if something is guiding her. Deep inside, they find real liquid water on Mars. But that's not what Komarov brought them here to show them. Further in, the astronauts discover an entire wall constructed entirely of human bones. They are not the first people on this planet, not by a long shot. Komarov begins to explain. Mars was once inhabited, not by aliens, but by humans. An ancient human civilization thrived here until they consumed every resource the planet had. A group of survivors retreated to the North Pole of Mars. But even there, conflict destroyed them. They killed each other when supplies ran out. The rest fled back to Earth. Plato called them the Atlanteans. Mars wasn't the colony, Earth was. Humanity didn't originate on Earth and travel to Mars. It was the other way around. And Komarov, this ancient AI, has been waiting here ever since, watching, waiting for the right person to return. That person, Komarov tells them, is Jana. She carries qualities of both branches of the species, human and Martian, and only she has the power to decide whether humanity deserves a second chance. The weight of that sentence hangs in the air, but the moment is shattered when the American military officer storms in, weapon raised, demanding Jana be returned to the ship. She calls out to Komarov for help. The officer suddenly grabs at his throat, gasping, and collapses, dead. Komarov did something invisible and absolute. Back on the ship, it becomes clear that Goldstein himself, dying from a terminal illness, has been trying to reach Mars to access whatever technology Komarov represents, believing it can save his life. He doesn't care about science. He doesn't care about history. He wants to live, and he is willing to strand an entire crew on Mars to get what he wants. When Gemma decides she cannot abandon the Ulysses crew and moves to fly them home, Goldstein remotely locks her ship's control panel from Earth, trapping everyone on board as a storm closes in from all directions. Meyer speaks to Gemma over the radio, raw, honest, broken. He confesses he is no better than Goldstein. He has risked his crew, betrayed his people, all to make his name immortal. But Gemma is different. She knows it. And hearing his voice, she unlocks the ship. But then an armed Zillion soldier appears on the launch pad, ready to destroy the engines and kill every last one of them. Simon moves to stop him, but Jana gets there first. She raises a weapon and looks the soldier dead in the eyes and tells him that Mars will be the one to kill him. The soldier drops. The countdown begins. Jana looks at the ship. She looks at the timer. She already knows. There is no time to get back inside. The crew watches in stunned silence as she stands alone on the Martian surface, the engines beginning to roar beneath the rising ship. She opens the comm channel, and through static and wind and the sound of everything ending, she tells Simon she loves him. The ship lifts off. It climbs through the thin red atmosphere and breaks into the black of space. Jana is left behind. And in the silent devastation of that moment, Meyer looks out the viewport and notices something impossible. The North Pole of Mars is dark. Not storm dark, not cloud dark, but night dark. The way a planet looks when it still has a functioning orbit and atmosphere. The place they stood just minutes ago wasn't the Mars of today. Komarov had taken them to the North Pole of Mars in the distant past, when it was still alive, still green, still breathing. They had walked through time and none of them even realized it until now. Back on Earth, Goldstein receives the news that the Ulysses crew is returning home. He erupts. He has failed. And with fury burning in his eyes, he announces to his team that he will go to Mars himself. Season 1 ends there, on a cliffhanger that stretches across planets, across civilizations, across 100,000 years of waiting. If this recap shook you the way this series shook us, smash that like button right now. It means everything to this channel. Subscribe to Great Animation Recaps and ring that notification bell so you are the first to know every time we drop a new recap. Leave a comment and tell us, do you think Jana is still alive? We rate every single one. More mind-bending recaps are waiting for you. Don't stop now.